Vient de remporter la Mass-Starт en IBU Cup du côté de l'Italie. Voilà,
Добро пожаловать всех любителей биатлона на первый Масс-Старт в этом году и заключительную гонку Кубка Мира в этом году. Погода отличная, ветер очень слабенький. 928 метров над уровнем моря находится трасса. Прекрасная Франция, солнечная, радостная Франция. Поющая Франция встречает нас сегодня. Настроение сразу повышается, когда слышишь такую поддержку на трибунах. Сегодня у нас 7, по-моему, или 6 участниц из Франции, которые будут поддерживать публику. Так, составы. Жюли Симон, Елизавета Оци, Эльвир Оберг, Денис Херман, Ингрид Тандерволд, Ин Персен, Маркета Давыдова, Нартей Вира, Лиза Тереза Хаузер, Анна Магнусон, Ванесса Войт, Анна Ищевна Буше, Мари Эддер, София Шнайдер. Успевают прочитывать Анна WEIDEL, Аита Каспарин, Каролина Ноттен, Лиза Каспарин, Лилия Жемано, Хлоя Шевалье, София Шаво, Эмма Лундер, Анна Гандлер, Франциска Пройс, Лена Хекки, Джессика Ислова, Ранхи Ферш. Мне вот интересно, что канадка, ей всего 21 год, она вчера приехала 11-й, а в спринте 2 дня назад она была 20-й. С одним промахом проехала все обе гонки. Неплохой результат показывает, она все-таки первый сезон выступает на Кубке Мира. Ну, давайте послушаем трибуну. победитель вчерашней гонки. В прошлом году, кстати, Европа тоже выиграла гонку преследований и выиграла Масс-Старт. Здесь же, год назад. Посмотрим, что она покажет сегодня. В прошлом году она была первой, а Жюли Симон была второй. Кристина Рысцова была третьей. Считанные секунды до старта. Опс, извините. Сейчас публика начнет отсчитывать
So welcome to
секунды.
the Grand Prix. If you've just joined us high in the French mountains, the Vесь mountain range, all around 2,500 meters. We're just over 1,000 meters in the stadium. No altitude to contend with, which the cross-country skiers have. They do have 20,000 fans who are absolutely wired for this final race of 2022. A Christmas special, if you like. But will the French get the victory?
Рождественская
And it
гонка
would be so nice for the
будет
crowd if they did get a win today.
28 декабря.
Didn't go well for the French this morning, as we saw, but Julie Simon is on such good form and also seems to be very relaxed. Almost every race she's relaxed, and this is the one race where if you can stay calm and cool, as Oberg explained yesterday, she just in this difficult, icy, tricky conditions, she managed to keep calm and pull off the perfect race with a zero shoot. Bit of a concertina effect.
A lot of people have been a bit concerned about, because there's been a lot of congestion, and you can see they come in close together. By the time they've gone over the bridge, the field is spread by 150 meters. Quite a few people not happy with that design.
Yeah, that's really tricky. You end up with your skis sort of almost straddling the athlete in front of you, and it's difficult to get going again if you're on a slight hill, which you are by that point.
Прошлого сезона в Масс-Старте это Жюстин Брюзе-Беше. В этом году она не выступает. Ройсланд болеет, Терляков тоже. В прошлом году, кстати, напомню, у Лизы Витоци на первом стрельбище было 5 промахов на лёжке. Посмотрим, как она справилась со своими ошибками, провела работу над ошибками и как выступит сегодня.
She looks comfortable on the snow, and I saw that Simon's just a little bit tentative going around the very first bend, 50 meters after the start, just avoiding any icy bits.
Yeah, but she's on Salomon, so she'll be hoping for the same colour. The yellow skis essentially are Fisher, the blue skis are Salomon. Salomon definitely the best yesterday. Ian, there are two reasons you go to the front. One is to try and string everyone out and keep the pace high. The other is to get to the front and control the pace.
Yeah, well, given that the race has already been strung out by that the concertina effect at that bridge, it looks to me like Tandrevold is trying to stretch people a little bit before the first shoot.
Смотрим.
Yeah, she's got 3 yellow-blue suits of Sweden.
Симон
The French are there as well.
едут впереди.
Of Germany, just on the left-hand
За
side
ними
of
Херман,
the group as they
Оберг,
make their way
Персон
up the
и
hill to the
Оберг.
first of the splits at 1 kilometre. It's a 12.5k race, so 5 times around the 2.5 kilometre loop. The course that we saw the men racing in the pursuit yesterday. Cross-country skiing, Ian, have equalled the distances for men and women this year. Do you think biathlon will ever do the same?
I think there may be something to do with scheduling and the amount of time it takes for a race to get done that will have a say on that. And the trend over the years has been for races in general to become shorter and faster and more exciting, so you can fit more in. So that will be a factor when they decide if women should go as long as the men. Maybe the men will go shorter. What do you think?
Well, I'm a big fan of short and sharp. I absolutely love the Mass-Starts. I love the pursuits. I love the cat and mouse. Head-to-head is where sport is for me. The time trials can be fascinating, provided there are some good athletes at the back of the field, which is what cross-country do, and I think that's captivating viewing.
Странно, сужаются дорожки, замедляются девушки. Тандервольд отходит на третью позицию, уступая место Эльвире Оберг. Пока все работают в одной группе. Отметка 1,5 километра.
And hard if you're one of the athletes, particularly given that you do tend to have the slightly less
Также все идут в одной группе. Оберг, Симон, Тандервольд,
No one wanted to take the lead earlier on there. It slowed right down. It's bunched right up as we would expect. Really, it looks more like a relay Mass-Start now.
Который уже совсем скоро.
Whether that's Elvira Ergberg, who's intentionally gone through to the front to slow things down. I think after yesterday's effort, she put in a strong race yesterday. Maybe a slower pace initially suits her. Fatigue must be a bit of a factor for Elvira Erberg. Really impressed with what she did yesterday. She won the Mass-Start in Ottopa last year. She won the Mass-Start here as well. So, you know, she's an athlete that doesn't seem to be fazed by the presence of other great athletes around her.
No, whenever you hear her speaking, she seems incredibly intelligent, doesn't she? Who's this number 23? That's Sophie Cheveux with a broken stick right at the start. It does happen because the traffic all around you, just all it takes is for one of those skis on an edge there to just catch and clip the basket off the bottom of your ski pole. Good recovery, though.
Julie Simon yet to miss a prone target, so you would expect her to be around when it comes to the halfway stage of the race. I'm sure most of you know, but just in case you're new to biathlon, 4 shoots in the Mass-Start, the first 2 in the prone position lying down, and then they go for the standing up.
Не знаю, посмотрим, сможет ли Роберг сегодня стрелять также 20 из 20.
A higher percentage of hit rates in the stand than in the prone. Certainly 10 years ago, that was very rare.
That's right. I think the improvements made in the rifles with the slightly extended hand hold feature for the left hand if you're a right eye shooter allows, just it gives an extension to the arm, making the stand just that little bit easier, I think.
На первом стрельбище каждый ложится на свой коврик. Смотрим.
Then it's Hermann, Tandervold, Persson. You can keep the eye on the target. The first to miss is Schneider of Germany, who's long way down the range. Hannah Erberg throws her third wide penalty loop for her. Lynn Persson, her teammate.
Симон без промахов уходит. Первый.
Bitotsi misses 3. What's going on with target number 3? It's usually target number 5. Simon is clear. Elvira Erberg, Tandervold, Davidova, Vera, Magnusson, some big names hitting the perfect score on the first shoot. But it's Julie Simon who heads out of the stadium. 6:58 on the clock, on schedule for a sub 35.5-minute race, which is the time they did last year.
Patrick, you mentioned Vitozzi usually missing the last shot. She did, as well as the middle shot. Remember yesterday, second prone, she came in and had 2 penalties. And actually, hats off to her to then manage to shoot so well and quickly in both stand shoots that she managed to then pull back enough time to take second place overall.
Yeah, 0-2-0-0. I guess the Mass-Start is where her prone shooting is really tested, Ian. And that's where she slipped up last year. Julie Simon, on the other hand, 5 out of 5. She's got the lead with the first shoot completed.
Так, после первого стрельбища Анна Уберг 1 промах, отставание 22 секунды. Денис Херман 29 секунд отставания. Лин Персон и Лиза Витоци по 2 промаха, отставание 49 секунд. Да, обидно.
I never did like my name, but I won't go for Mike.
Танdervold лидирует.
Did I just call you Mike? I'm sorry.
Just having a look at the shooting times. Actually, it's been corrected now. We had WEIDEL down at a 12.5-second shoot. She did miss 2, but actually that has been corrected. She did a 24.5. Magnusson, the fastest in the range, 20.1. And Dorothy and Vera, guess what, right up there, 22.9, ahead of Hannah Erberg, who missed with a 23.
Over half the field clearing in the first shoot. Again, that's usually slightly better than the men. I think the men managed, was it 15 or 16 this morning, Patrick?
15 cleared on the first shoot. 14 was still clear after the second shoot.
And then it all went downhill rapid, didn't it?
As it does.
Так, девушки подъезжают к отметке 3,5 километра. Танdervold пока лидирует, да. И хорошо очень идет. Тереза Хаузер 4-я. Ложимано на 5-м месте
We
с
said it would be
21-й
nice for a French
строчки.
victory, and things are looking good in the early stages.
9:41.
Tandrevold setting the pace as she did on that first loop. She's a
Ракета Давыдова
different beast
7-я,
this year.
Анна
I think
Магнуссен
with
8-я,
Roysland and
Доротея Вир
Ekhoff
9-я,
sitting out
Франциска
this
Проус
season,
10-я.
Tandrevold suddenly has matured.
Yeah, the pressure was placed squarely on her shoulders with the Norwegian flag as the default team captain, but she seems to be coping really well. I think the fact that she takes life so casually and just seems to enjoy everything she does has probably helped her with that. I'm surprised to see Lynn Persson. There she is. I think she's 4th from last, having must have been. She's so far down the shooting list. I think she must have missed at least 2.
Yeah, we'll do a double check on that. Yes, 2 misses on that first prone, as we saw from Vitozzi. Vitozzi still 55 seconds adrift. So I wonder whether she's just lost a little bit of heart. She's lost another 5 seconds on this loop. Can't afford another miss if she wants to be in the mix. But we've got a strong field, 16 or so in that leading group. I think Emma Lunda just off the back of the group. Just waiting to see if Hannah Öberg, who missed once, was 24 behind. I think she's closed fairly dramatically.
Да, преследователи отстают потихонечку. Денис Херман также 29 секунд на 21 месте. А Лиза Витоци на 29-й строчке. 55 секунд отставания. 4 километра. Свечка. Смотрим.
Sorry, 8.5. It's been a long day.
Jean Monod and Chevalier Boucher flying the French flag near the front there, following on to the superstar that is Julia Simon, currently 3 in the top 6, I think that is.
Yeah, there's Hannah Öberg going through 23, so she's gained a second and a half, maybe on the leading group, but I think probably a sensible tactics from Hannah. I'm not sure she's got her best form to be able to close the gap, but
да, вот мы видим как раз Лиза
we see
Витоци.
someone try and close the gap on the second lap, which is after the first shoot, and they pay a price. If not on the 3rd lap, they pay it on the 4th and the 5th.
Yeah, we and we occasionally see people come right from the back. I think Vitozzi would be a good example from yesterday, and just take their time and carefully make their way forward to the front and manage to shoot well. So it can be done, but if you overcook it, trying to chase into the range, especially with this tiny, well, not tiny, but fairly steep, short, sharp little hill, just 30 seconds before you're hitting the firing point, it really doesn't work.
17 clear on the first shoot. In the men's, it was a group of 15. There were a couple a bit further back, but 14 of those leading 15 went clear again second time around. Are we about to see the same again? In they come, shoot number 2. In the pro position again, the last shoot in the pro, and then we switch to the shaky leg stand for shoots 3 and 4. Lane number 1 is bib number 1. It's Julie Simon, the World Cup leader, still in control of this race. But she has the biggest names with her. Öberg, who of course won here last year. Hauser, the world champion from Pachuca. And Tandrevold, one of the most consistent on the tour this year. Mistake from Simon. Hear the groan in the crowd.
Удивительно.
Watch for the red flashes.
Я не сглазил.
Hauser is clear. Elvira Öberg is clear. Tandrevold is clear. Chevalier Boucher gets a cheer from the crowd. Magnussen, who won here on day 1, got her first ever World Cup win. She's still in the picture. Could be a second success here today. Kreutz keeps the German flag flying. Good work from here. Gasparin of Switzerland, 5 out of 5. Gandler of Austria, 5 out of 5. This is what we'd like to see. In the men's race, it was Norway all the way. Very different story here in the women's Mass-Start.
12 секунд отставания.
Yeah, Vitozzi started to shoot, desperately trying to make up those 50 seconds.
секунд, и
She's going to
будет
shoot fast, she
отрабатывать
really doesn't have
отставание.
much choice. But if she ends up with another penalty, and there it is, she's unlikely to see any of the leaders come any of the next
Витоци очень странно. На Лёшке еще 2 промаха, уже 4. И будет очень тяжело попасть в топ-10, я считаю. Херман 48 секунд с 1 промахом. Ракета Давыдова, 19-я строчка.
Yeah, and it's rapid. There's not much traction if no one is slowing down at that point. So the surface it remains really hard and flat.
These are the targets of Elvira Erberg. That first one right over the left, split round on the left-hand side of the target. 2 and 3 smack in the middle. That was a little bit high, but central, and finishes off where she started, over on the left-hand side. Little bit fortunate. Chablot appreciating the fortune going his way. So Ian, from 17 clear, we are down to 12. A leading group of, what have we got? Kreutz at 8 is 9 seconds down. But we've got 4 leaders up there. Erberg, Hauser, Chevalier Boucher and Tandrevold.
Да, сейчас будет проходить девушке отметку 6 километров. Эрберг пока лидер. 4 человека, Дорофея Вира немного отстала, Анна Магнуссон тоже. Сильнее 2 француженки и немка.
Famous penalty loop, then this is a race that Dorothy Vera could take. She's halfway through the race now, and apart from being in amongst these leaders, she's probably very happy with her performance so far. Chevalier Boucher just pushing her way up to the front. Looking
wearing 3, and we got Chevalier Boucher over on the left-hand side of your screen. Don't forget Justine Brézard-Boucher, the Olympic champion in this discipline. In fact, all 3 Olympic medalists absent. Brézard-Boucher finished. We got Eckhoff and Roysland sitting out the 22-23 season. So the best from Pyeongchang is Davidova. No sign of her so far. She's missed 2 in this over 50 seconds adrift.
Julia working very hard there. She looked quite stressed, but she's managed to pull back 2 seconds on the leader since the range. And almost up to this, the highest point.
Yeah, and she's the leader of those who have missed a target, sitting in 10th place at the moment.
Херман сейчас 20-я, Ракета Давыдова 21-е место. Ханна Оберг 25-я, Лен Персон 26-я, а Лиза Витоци 30-я замыкает гонку. Больше всего промахов пока что у нее.
That leading group of 4 we saw in the men's race, when you get 4 skiing tightly together, they tend to put each other off. They tend to increase the pressure on each other.
Yeah, they do that, but they also, skiing together means that they also tend to put the rest of the pack who are chasing them under pressure too. So they inevitably arrive at the range a little more stressed than they would like to. But let's be honest, there is nowhere at all in the Mass-Start race, apart from perhaps the last loop if you're way ahead, where you can just ease off and relax. It's push, push, push all the way.
But if you're a big name like Elvira Erberg, you've got a lot of respect out there. If you go to the front and set a pace, I think most people will be happy with it, even if they feel they can go faster. And it takes a bold athlete to push past someone like Erberg.
Yeah, it does. And everyone knows we're at the end of World Cup 3, going into the Christmas break. The women have raced all 3 races in a row. So they're going to be really tired, and they know that whatever happens after the last shoot, it is going to hurt into the finish. So they've got to save a little bit of energy for that last loop. That could be a good reason for not going past, even if you think you can.
19-е место отыгрывает. Уже 8 секунд со стрельбы с сольного рубежа, 40 секунд отставания.
Possibly the skis, possibly the form not at its best at the moment. This is the leading group of 4. We've got 4 different nationalities in the race for the lead as they come into the chute for the 3rd time. Round under the bridge. Then you have that big, it's a steep climb. It doesn't take long, but it pushes the pulse rate from around the sort of 170, 180 mark because of the long downhill, back up to around 200. And then you've only got 30 seconds or so to calm yourself down before the first of the stand shoots.
Look at Dorothy Vera there. She knows where she needs to be. Tactically, she knows she's got to be in the race, wants to be on the firing point when the others are shooting, wants to be able to see what they're doing and perhaps influence them by arriving and letting them know that she's there.
К третьему огневому рубежу. Это у нас стойка. Увероберг 86% попаданий. Тандерволд 86 тоже. Посмотрим, как они сейчас отстреляются.
She's on 87, so a slight advantage there. Elvira Erberg is on 86, so they're pretty much even Stevens. And then, of course, we've got Hauser of Austria.
Шевалье Буше 87. О, Лиза Терезахаузер. 80. Еще хуже. Уже она совершила промах. Эльвира Оберг тоже. Тандервольд мажет. Шевалье Буше уходит под
fantastic shooting from Chevalier Boucher
and perhaps a little sister
and Anna Magnussen and Chevalier. Oh my goodness, things are hotting up as it changes at the front. The big names, the fast skiers have really got to put the pedal down on the penultimate loop here in Le Grand Bonnard. But it's France. For the first time this week, they have someone who could just snatch the victory.
Два промаха у Хермана.
We know Magnussen's on good skiing form. She's also managed to be very, very confident, having managed to hit all 15 targets so far.
21 секунда отставания.
I think we're down to 3.
9 seconds separating the top 3
Я что-то пропустил, как отстреляла Симон. Тоже промазала один на стойке. 32 секунды отставания. 10-я сейчас Жюли Симон.
2 misses from Julie Simon. Misses from
Erberg,
opens the door for Chevalier Boucher.
Julie Simon now 30 seconds down, leaving the race, leaving the range. We know what tends to happen on the last shoot. 30 seconds, just over 1 penalty, so certainly not out of the race.
Just 1 win to a name so far. Chevalier Boucher, I'll double check, but I think that came in Nova Mesta Namrave, and she went from 10th to 9th yesterday.
Так, Денис Ферман после стрельбища 25-е место. Ирина Хэки 27-я, Лиза Витоци 29-я. Витоци отстрелялась на 0 на 3-м огневом рубеже. Отставание минуты 42.
Chloe Chevalier. So those two are in an incredible position. And Anna Magnussen of Sweden is not as quick as they are. So I think advantage France at the moment.
Yeah, Magnussen's lost time to Chloe in the last 200-300 meters. Chloe managing to get past her.
Девушки будут проходить отметку 8,5 километров.
21 seconds behind, so watch for the blue steam train coming up the hill as she chews up this track, trying to get back on par with the first 3.
Yeah, we'll get a readout at about 8.5 kilometers, and we'll see whether the faster skiers, the Erbergs, the Hausers, the Tandervolds, can do something about it. Julie Simon has missed 2. Last time we saw, she was at 32 seconds, so working desperately hard to get back in the picture. But what a moment for Chevalier Boucher. Plenty of fans have come across from Valladolid, where she comes from. It's a venue that's produced many top biathletes in the past. This would be a famous victory for them. 2 sisters, 1 and 2 at the moment. 23:42 the time on the clock. Winning time last year, 35:21. So from that,
Uder 25 секунд.
12 minutes of racing still to go.
Идут также втроем Тандервуд, Лиза Розенхаузер и Оберг. Младшая сестра. Жюли Симон. Сколько? 34 секунды. Остает 9-я строчка.
From the rest of the field, certainly made up time on her little sister and Anna Magnusson. But anyone on the screen now that's passing this checkpoint, coming into the range and managing to shoot clear, any one of them has the potential to win if things go wrong for people ahead of them. And Chevalier Boucher finding herself for the first time this season in this position where all of the pressure is going to be on her. She's been around for a while now and she's got a good head on her shoulders, so I don't mind admitting I really hope she has a good race today and goes into the Christmas break feeling strong and confident.
Yeah, just looking at her previous mass starts, I think one thing against her is the fact that she is skiing away from the faster skiers. That to me doesn't seem like sensible tactics in a mass start, but you can understand why. She's got so many fans cheering her on. It's difficult to contain yourself. We get another split here, and it does look to me as though that 24-second gap is coming down between first and fourth. Keep an eye on the clock. It's already at 14, so maybe that's not the case. Number 11 is Anna Magnusson. Elvira Erberg just behind her, and those two were 6 seconds apart last time. So Elvira Erberg keeping the pressure on, but still only 21 seconds behind. Julie Simon goes through. I think anyone in that top 7 has a chance. Can we rule Vera out? She can take 5 seconds off everyone in the range.
Well, she can, but everyone else must shoot poorly if Vera is going to win or get on the podium. I think we know what she can do, and she is not uncomfortable in the range. Don't know how she's feeling today, but it would be a tall order because, as we just saw there, her skiing form isn't as good as some of the people ahead of her.
5 years since Anaïs Chevalier-Boucher got her one and only win on the World Cup. That will give you some idea of the thoughts going through her head. Somehow she has to block all of that out. Block out the fact that she's down in 13th place in the World Cup standings. She should be higher than that. Block out the fact that she's ahead of Julie Simon, the World Cup leader. She's just got to treat this like a training run. But is that possible?
Well, we're about to find out. If this was a training run with her sister chasing her into the range, you wouldn't expect her to shoot badly. But this crowd makes all the difference. Will it help or hinder her? She will be able to feel the atmosphere coming from the crowd now, and she knows that all of those cheers are for her.
She has a 9-second lead over her sister. Now, that would be interesting. Does she know her sister's behind her? I'm not sure she does at this stage, but she will by the time she finishes this shoot. So, Anaïs Chevalier, a win is not guaranteed if she hits 5, but she'll be in a strong position. There's the first
промах. Первый промах сразу же. Лиза Розенхаузер.
Great recovery. Great recovery. Now it's everyone else's chance to respond. Chloe
Chevalier уходит на один штрафной круг. Chloe Chevalier тоже мажет. Эльвира Оберг. Тандервуд мажет, Магнуссон мажет. Хаузер уходит, будет первый. А Эльвира Оберг промахивается, и Жюли Симон попадает. И это уже тройка лидеров. Посмотрим. Да, вот выходит со штрафного круга Chevalier Boucher, и они вместе с Жюли Симон уходят на 5-й заключительный круг. Гандлер мажет, обидно. Молодая.
No, 7 seconds means we definitely have a race on our hands. Lisa Theresa Hauser is fast, never looks quick because she's so powerful, she glides so far. But I suspect Chevalier Boucher and Julie Simon can outski her on this last loop. I wonder what it's like. I don't know about Hauser as far as sprinting is concerned, going into the finish.
High left with that first shot. That's exactly what Johannes Tingesbø did. and then hit the rest. Hauser stayed composed. Very, very solid shooting from her. Austria at that stage, thinking that victory was going to come easy. Nothing comes easy in this game. 7.2 seconds between 1 and 2. There's the gap. Hauser ahead of Simon. Simon trying to bring France their first victory this week in the Grand Prix. But give Chevalier Boucher credit, she's hanging on in there.
Денис Херман 22-я. А что по поводу Лизы Витоци, она 27-я, 5 промахов. Да. Плохое выступление от Лизы Витоци. Хотя вчера она показывала очень хороший уровень. Симона дала вторую строчку, идет вторым номером. Видимо,
you have to remember how hard Chevalier Boucher pushed on that last lap. So I think the next big climb is going to be key. Certainly looks as though Chevalier Boucher is stronger at the moment. Quite a big margin up to third. But you haven't exactly closed that sort of a margin in the men's race to win.
Следующая отметка 11 километров за 1,5 километра до финиша. И Хаузер пока уверенно лидирует.
And having no problem coping with the conditions despite the fact that she's on Fishers today.
Yeah, the gap doesn't seem to be closing, doesn't that? Looks bigger to me. It looks like Chevalier Boucher is slowing down. They both seem to be very, very tired. I wonder if they can hold second and third position.
Yeah, and Elvira Erberg has moved up into fourth. And if Erberg get ahead of Simon, that would tighten up the World Cup standings just a little bit. Going into today's race, Simon on 3.96.
Так, отметка 11 километров. Лиза Трезехаузер 30.44 проходит. Сколько вот отставания у Шевалье Буше будет? Около 15 секунд, я думаю. За ними видно, как работает Эльвира Одер. 15 секунд, Симон 16. Эльвира Одер 24 секунды. 8 секунд до третьего места.
Lisa Theresa Hauser has managed to double the gap. The distance between Simon and Oberg doesn't seem to be closing enough for it to affect the podium positions. We can see the two French girls already going around the corner in the distance. Hauser's just so strong and so relaxed.
There were quite a few fans chuntering about the success of the Norwegians this morning, saying it's so boring when so many Norwegians are in the top 6. Well, I can tell you what, the French have 5 in the top 7, and they won't be complaining about that.
Увеличивает свое преимущество.
No, they'll be a little disappointed having seen the two Chevalier sisters go into the range first and second.
Но вот Эльвира Одер, мне кажется, она догоняет потихонечку.
10 out of 10 or 20 out of 20 for Hauser at the World Championships last round in Podgotowka. She's hit 19 out of 20 today, but it's going to be the same result. She's going to be number 1 here.
1 километр до финиша и 32 минуты, 13 секунд. Отставание у анализ Шевалье Буше будет больше 15. 19 секунд. 4 секунды. Замедляется, а Эльвира Одер догоняет Жюли Симон. И нас ждет борьба за медали.
Oh, it's so close. And see how she took the corner there. She couldn't afford to ease off at all. Julie Simon is clearly very, very tired. Erberg knew that she can just get onto her tail, go onto that last hill. I think she'll be able to outsprint her. She probably has just a little more left than Simon does.
This is position 2 and 3. At this stage, worth mentioning Anna Magnusson having a tremendous race.
Да-да-да, уходит вперед Жюли Симон. Эльвира Одер.
Sophie Chauveau, best ever, a PB for her in the sprint event at the start of this
Лиза Трезехаузер с огромной уверенностью уже победила в этой гонке. Масс-Старт.
Well, this is the easy ski.
На следующем этапе она будет уже в красной майке.
Lisa Theresa Hauser
Ого, да. Эльвира Оберг доводит еще выше. Подгоняет ее тренера. Финиш. Поздравляем Лизу Розенхаузер. Заслуженно. Жюли Симон. Второе место, а Эльвире Оберг чуть-чуть не хватает. Чуть-чуть не хватает до призов.
Chevalier Boucher had her chance. She led into that final shoot, but missed early on. Elvira Erberg fourth. Consistency, the name of the game. If you want to win the overall, she's certainly been that. Sophie Chabot just missing out on a PB. Fifth today, but what a win for her, just ahead of her teammate Jean Monod. And then Chloe Chevalier in seventh. So France very much the team of the day. Five in the top seven.
30-й стартовый номер подъезжает норвежка Фемштейн. Тандервольд 10-я, Вирер 12-я, Вольт и Давыдова 14-я. Три промаха у Давыдовой. Смотрим, кто дальше. Ханна Оберг финиширует. Да, Ханна Оберг будет 16-й. Лемперсон 17-й.
She's not, I mean, I was about to say she's not a real superstar. I think she has the ability to sort of fade into the background and avoid the cameras, and that favors her.
Выезжает на финишную прямую Денис Херман. Она сегодня 21-я. Денис Херман с 5 промахами оканчивает гонку.
Just chipping away at those targets. 5 out of 5 with enough cushion to be able to relax and ski well, which meant she skied quicker than those chasing.
С 5 промахами 23-я. За ней Джессика Ислова, Лена Хеки.
She wasn't defending a lead, as was Chevalier Boucher and Chloe Chevalier Magnussen defending podium positions. She can just go all-out attack, all in on that final shoot, whereas the others were having to consider whether they play it carefully.
место.
That's right. There's a big difference between the race being something that's in front of you and the race being something that's behind you. When it's behind you, it's very tough to do everything you need to do to keep going forward.
Находится пока что на 30-й строчке. Мне интересно, как будет ее встречать трибуны.
The tail-enders just coming across the line. Only 30 take part in the Masс-Start, so we've got one to go. I don't think anyone was lapped. Although, having a look at it, someone must have dropped out because we've only got 29 through 11.5. I wonder whether Colombo of France actually pulled out. She missed 5 and was some way off the mark. So I think she's the missing in action athlete. But the French won't mind. They've had an extremely successful day. But they couldn't quite match Lisa Theresa Hauser. Great news for Austria, their first win of the season.
Все, походу, завершилась гонка. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Отличная гонка, я считаю. Ханна Оберг 4-я. Но Лиза Розенхаузер показала силу. В прошлом сезоне она заняла 3-ю строчку. Сейчас стартовала лишь под 10-м номером. Но, я думаю, отыграет несколько позиций в мировом рейтинге. Да. Молодец. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Любите биатлон. Следующая гонка 28 декабря. Рождественская гонка. И следующий этап Кубка Мира уже будет в Словении 5 декабря.
I noticed this morning while they were zeroing, it was Anna Gandel that we saw, but the Swiss have this technique, this habit of just juggling. I don't know if you spotted it, Patrick. Anna Gandel juggling on the firing point after she'd finished zeroing, just relaxing, taking it easy. And the juggling thing, it wasn't entertaining the French spectators. It was about just training that part of the brain that relaxes into autopilot, which is what must happen when you arrive on the shooting range. If you overthink it and start trying to make the shot hit the target, make it work, then in a sense the body and the mind get in the way. What must happen is you do go through your routine, the position is good, all that needs to be right, and then when the sight picture is right, the shot should go. You don't even think about it. And that's the autopilot thing that juggling helps you to develop.
Well, it's a factor in all precision sports. It's what the 10,000 hours is all about. You get to a level where you don't have to think, your body just does it. Music, I guess, is exactly the same. You're not actually thinking what finger you're lifting and pressing. You're just doing it. And all credit to Hauser. And I like that technique.
Коломбо, 26-летняя биатлонистка из Франции, финиширует на последней строчке в этой гонке.
I remember we did it back in the day, and there was a competition. The first person who could juggle for 60 seconds. The pressure once you got to about 55 seconds. You know, we're talking in the hotel room in the evenings when we would play darts and chess and juggling, just as a way of keeping the brain working. And that fine motor skill, there's so much pressure once you get close to the target.
I guess that's why the dry shooting is so important as well. There are your top 8 positions for today's race. Hauser with her first win of the year. Simon and Chevalier-Boucher giving France something to cheer about. It's going to be a lively flower ceremony. Elvira Erberg, number 2 in the World Cup standings, and in fact she was number 3 at the start of today, but I think she's going up ahead of Vitozzi with a third place finish today, which is worth 60 points. So she goes over the 400 mark. And further down the order, any disappointing? Well, Denise Herman-Vick, you said you didn't think she was going to win. I bet you didn't think she was going to finish below number 20.
No, I wouldn't have expected that from her. I was very sad for Lynn Persson. She had 2 on her first shoot and then slowly clawed it back. Basically turned her Mass-Start race into a pursuit race, and hasn't got the points she wanted from today.
Yeah. Chevalier-Boucher, did she go too hard on that penultimate loop?
It's likely, isn't it? It's very difficult not to.
Yeah, so there are your top positions in the World Cup. It's Julie Simon, Vitozzi, or Erberg, then Vitozzi as they head into the Christmas break. So Julie Simon can sit around the Christmas table with the yellow bib on. What a season it's been for her so far. And I think we're going to see more of the same when we start again in January.
Alors, ben voilà, les spectateurs, on l'a dit, merci encore pour cette ambiance ô combien géniale. Et ben aujourd'hui, c'est pas moins de